smile when I'm supposed to, but it don't reach my bones. Been wearing this face like a mask made of stone. There's pictures of me with a fire in my grin, but I stare through the glass like I don't know him. Folks say they still see sparks from time ago, but that boy you loved, he's buried low. He was buried long ago in a storm I can't name. Now I move through the noise, but I don't feel the flame. Don't know the day I slipped out of that skin, but I ain't sure I felt real since then. This ain't the man I meant to show. He was buried long ago. Fake every handshake, I choke on each cheer. Wear laughter like armor and drink down the fear. The world kept moving, I stayed stuck. Heart like an engine too flooded to trust. I ain't bitter, I just bend with the load, and I barely remember the roads he rode. Yeah, he was buried long ago. The sky full of smoke, where the dreams burned out and the silence spoke. You fell for a soul that don't quite remain. Now I haunt my life with a different name. This shell don't let it show, but he was buried long ago. Nights he stirs in my chest like he's winning the fight. A tear hits my cheek from the life I don't fake, then he slips through my hands like a wind-shaped ache. It hurts more than being cold when he comes back and don't stay whole. He was buried long ago in dust and time, but he still breaks surface in the right kind of line. It's a cruel kind of hole, the way it fades. When you touch what's gone, then watch it cave. You deserve more than this shadow I told. He was buried long ago.
Hello everybody, Wyatt Tactical here today. We're going to be talking about the Sig 365 fuse. Just look at this thing for a minute. This is a compact carry gun with all the features you could ever want. I've had a few different 365s. I've had a regular 365, the X Macro, the Sig AXG Legion, and now the Fuse. And so far my favorite's been the AXG Legion, but this might change my mind. I want to talk about why. So, the XG Legion has a really good grip module. I'm a big fan of metal grips, being a 1911 guy. So, having that all metal gun to me is just like chef's kiss. Don't get me wrong, like polymer guns have their place. I'm just preferential to the all metal ones. So the XG Legion 365 feels really good in my hand. I'm not the biggest guy, but I do have some meaty hands. So having a Glock 19 or any other subcompact frame guns, my pinky hangs off the bottom and it doesn't let me get a very good, comfortable grip. And that might be fine for concealed carry. You know, you might argue the fact that if I have to use it in a life or death situation, I'm not really going to care if I've got all my fingers on there. But for me, I can carry a full-size gun, no problem. Like, just to me, comes down to what kind of belt you're running and what kind of holster you have, and then like where you can carry. So I've had no problems carrying full-size guns. I don't really carry smaller size guns anymore. But I am a fan of how thin the profile is on the 365. And it's so much lighter than some of my other stuff that I carry. I do carry my Prodigy a lot, and that is a heavy gun. But with the holster setup and the belt setup that I've got, it's not really a big problem. It does add weight, so it is nicer to be able to carry something a little bit more lightweight in the summer. That being said, my problem with the XG Legion is I think their integrated comp system that they've got on the X Macro and the Legion is kind of a gimmick. It might help recoil reduction like a little bit, but I didn't really notice a huge difference that made it worth it to me. The barrel on the AXG Legion, let's say, you know, you've got the slide, you got the comps up here, the barrel stops before the comps. So as soon as that slide cycles, all your gases are going out the front of the barrel just like normal, as opposed to something like this where that port or integrated comp is in the barrel as well. So you get the gas release through the whole cycle of the firearm. Also, having the little bit of shorter barrel, you lose some muzzle velocity, you lose some effective range, and those are all things to consider when you're looking at these integrated comps or ports or whatever you want to call them. So that was my really only thing that I didn't like about it. So I figured I'd give the fuse a try, where it's got a little bit longer slide, longer barrel, a good size grip. I mean, even that when you can see my pinkies resting on the mag well, which isn't really a bad thing. It really forces my grip to get up in the frame. And just real quick, this is a clear weapon, nothing in it. So all you people out there that are worried about me having an accidental discharge on the camera or anything like that, I am handling a safe firearm. So I'm gonna try the fuse, and we'll see how I feel about it on the range. Right now, I think it feels great. I mean, this is a great feeling little gun. And I like the fact that, like the 320, the 365 has a fire control unit, and that's the only serialized part of the gun, so I can go out and buy the grips. This is a Icarus grip module that I'm going to be putting on my fuse, all metal. And as you can see from my Prodigy, again clear, I really like Icarus precision grip modules. So I'm gonna put that on there. Plans for the future, I might end up getting a shorter slide and then getting the Radian ramjet and having about the same length, if not just a little bit shorter, of a barrel, but that one is an actual compensator, so the barrel length does go all the way. I've seen really good stuff about the ramjet afterburner combos on the 365s, so I would like to try it myself, see what I think. So let's plan for the future on this 365, but for now I'm going to be running the factory slide, and I'm going to shoot both with the factory grip module and the 360 or the Icarus precision grip module, and see which one I like more. I've got a feeling it's going to be the Icarus. I mean, if you just look at the ergonomics of this thing, you got a nice good beaver tail, like a 1911 similar style. You've got a palm hump right here, so it really sits right in there on the gap in your thumb. I'm able to get a good purchase on here, get really up high, and then it's got the undercut here, so when I'm marrying my hands up, I've got a good spot for that. And then also, if you notice, it's got little gas pedals on either side. So I'm a right-handed shooter. I press down on with my thumb, so on my support hand, and get some of that recoil management in there. The factory grip module does not have anywhere to rest my thumb. I'd have to rest it on the light, and then I run the risk of accidentally setting my light off when I'm not wanting it to be. So, for right off the bat, that's the downside on the factory grip module. I do like the integrated mag well. I think that's a great feature. Make good fast reloads. But the Icarus has a grip module as well, or a mag well as well. It's a little bit smaller, but that would be better for concealed carry. I'm not going to have a big hump to be printing, and I think with the metal on metal, that just goes in just as fine as the little bit larger of the mag well. I do like their stippling from the factory. I think it's grippy, but it's not enough to where if I'm carrying this, it's gonna destroy my stomach when I'm appendix carrying. So that's a good thing. The texture on the Icarus is a little bit more aggressive, but I don't think it's too aggressive to where it's gonna cause me to be carrying uncomfortably either. So, like I said, I'm gonna try both of them. We'll see which one I like the more, but being a fan of the Icarus stuff, I think that's the direction I'm already leaning. So a little bit more about the 365 fuse. It does have the same size slide length as like a Glock 45 or 19. It's clear. So this is my Glock 45. You can see that the slide length is the same. So I'm still gonna have about the same amount of material inside my waistband that I would carrying like my Glock 45. However, you can see how much thinner this is. I mean, it's like 3/4 of the width of the Glock 45. So that comes into play on concealability and comfort while doing so. They feel about the same weight. The Glock 45 might be a little bit heavier, but I've got an X300 on there and a full-size optic, so that could just be from the accessories I've got on there. I've already gone ahead and changed out the trigger to a M Carbo trigger, and I also did the spring kit as well. I didn't really have any gripes about the factory trigger. It's fine for a factory trigger, but I'm always a fan of trying to get the optimal performance out of my handguns. I've done trigger jobs on all of my stuff, and I don't do it so light to where it's like a competition trigger, but I do it light enough to where it's not that factory weight and the factory pull length and reset and all that kind of stuff. I like a good, smooth, crisp trigger, and I think the M Carbo does that really well. Real quick, again, it is clear. There's nothing in here. So this is the take-up that I've got. Almost like an immediate break. And that's the reset. Super short reset. So I'm already liking the feel of that M Carbo trigger in there. I really love this flat face slim trigger. I think it just looks really good. It feels really good. I'm not a big fan of MIM parts. My Prodigy, I've changed out all the internals in there and got rid of all the MIM parts. They're fine, but this is stuff that I use a lot. So eventually those MIM parts are gonna have issues, and I'm just getting rid of that before it even happens. What else? Let's go ahead and change the grip module out and see what that Icarus looks like on there. I mean, this is super quick. You got one pin, firing control unit comes out, you slip it into the new grip module, throw my light on there, and then that's it. I mean, super quick, guys. So Sig's really got the modularity down. You might have issues with the 320 and all the legalities and issues that they're having right now, but personally, I've never had an issue with any of their stuff. I've carried one for a long time. I never had any of those accidental discharges that we're hearing so much about. This thing's stiff. The tolerances are definitely tighter on the Icarus grip module as far as putting the firing control unit in there. There we go. There you go, firing control unit's in. Go ahead and slide on there. Let's get our light changed over. I think that looks killer. What do you guys think? Feels great. I can't wait to shoot this thing. Little side note, I've got the 507K on here in a green, and then I've got the TLR7 HLX, just about flush with my slide. Good carry light. One thing that I don't like about my X300s is if I'm not running a full-size slide, they do stick way out past the slide, which is okay to stick out past it, because I can hit that light on something and I'm not pushing my light out or my weapon out of battery. So it'd be a good CQB kind of tool. However, concealed carrying, you've got all that extra material. I mean, all this extra that's sticking out past here. So if I'm running a holster, I've got to have something to cover that up, and that's just more stuff that I've got to worry about in my waistband. Whereas something like that, that's taking up less real estate, if you catch my drift. So I do like that setup. I think that if I get the little bit shorter length slide and the X macro, and it's either flush with this grip module or sticking out the same length, I would prefer it actually to be back here. So I think I get the 3.1 inch slide and then the Radiant Ramjet afterburner combo that would make it flush with my grip module here, and then my light will stick out just a hair past there for that, be able to not put my weapon into battery, but not so much where it's going to be uncomfortable conceal carrying it. So we'll see. I'll do an updated video whenever I get that done. But yeah, so those are my first impressions of the 365 fuse, my Icarus grip module. I'm gonna go out and shoot those and give you some range footage, and then I'll come back and give an updated impression. So stay tuned. Alright, so at range, testing out some drone footage. I'm going to be shooting my Icarus Precision and 365 fuse build. 365 fuse slide. Got the Icarus Precision X Macro grip module. A Streamlight TLR7 HLX. My Hollow Sun 507K. And I've shot this thing a little bit already with just the regular fuse grip module, and it shoots pretty good. I'm able to get some really quick shots on there, but I'm thinking I'm going to be able to get quicker with the thumb ledges here that the Icarus grip module's got. I've also changed the trigger out to the M Carbo flat trigger, plus I got their spring kit. So we're going to see how that trigger feels today, and just do some concealed carry shooting. Let's get started. We'll try to get some distance shots further than 15 yards.
Low battery. Return to home promptly.
Woo! So now that I've gotten used to that thing, I'm shooting it quick. That's pretty good. That is a very small, that thing's hot. Whew. Empty. It's a very small, very thin, good concealed carry gun. For concealed carrying, I think the Icarus is fine, but I'm feeling some heat transfer the longer I'm out here on the range today in the grip. It's not terrible, but it's definitely noticeable. If I was going to shoot like hundreds and hundreds of rounds, I might want the polymer grip module back on there. But obviously, hopefully in a self-defense situation, I'm not going to be shooting that many rounds where it's going to matter, for one. For two, I've only got 17 plus 21. So was that 39 rounds to defend myself, which is plenty. It's not going to make the gun heat up or anything. So definitely for carrying, that slide is just hot. This is the setup I'd go with. For range day, I'd probably put that polymer grip module back on there, and I would love to try the Radian backstrap magwell combo and get another slide with the ramjet on there to make it a similar length, and compare the feeling after that. Like, what's the recoil impulse difference? I mean, because this is a long slide and barrel for a concealed carry. If you shorten it but you put a compensator on the end, is it going to be a similar recoil impulse, or is it going to be even better since it's compensated? I would love to test that out and see. So I might just have to go out and get me a slide in a Radian ramjet afterburner combo. Overall, I've been super happy with this build, with this Sig. I call it a build, but I mean, it's just a fuse with M-Carbo trigger and the Icarus precision grip module. And let's just take a minute to appreciate this trigger. Ready? That's the take up. That's the break. And that's the reset. I was firing off those shots quick, and with this little thumb ledge, I was able to get that dot back down. It barely left my window. So I'm thinking if I had the compensator on the end of it, the recoil and pulse would be so good that I would never lose that dot. And like, I'm shooting from 15 yards away, so I mean, it's not a huge distance, but it's about a self-defense distance, you know, 15 yards and in. So if I can shoot steel that quick, I'm pretty happy with that. My steel is just like an A zone target. It's pretty small. So if I got an actual life-size target up here, I would be nailing it every single time. But yeah, so that's my impressions of the 365 fuse. And well, my dot's gotten loose, so I'm gonna have to tighten that back down and recheck my zero before I shoot anymore. But guys, I know Sig's got a lot of hate lately, but their 365, I haven't had any issues with it. I've had the fuse now, the X Macro, the 365 AXG Legion, and all of them have shot fantastically. I've had no reliability issues, and I can't speak for everybody out there, but as far as a concealed carry gun, you can't beat it. I mean, you're talking 39 rounds. 39 rounds between a 17 round flush fit mag and then the spare 21 round mag. And I mean, it doesn't stick out that far. Just a little bit. So if I'm carrying this in my sidecar, you know, I've got 39 rounds. 39 rounds to defend myself and protect others with. That to me is a win. These single stack Glocks, Glock reliability, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, they're reliable, they're good. But you're looking at 9 rounds, 10 rounds. If I'm gonna carry that, I'm gonna be carrying a 1911. So having the option of having that much capacity to me is huge. So guys, be safe out there. I'm gonna try to get some more range footage for you when I can. Thanks for watching the channel. Please like and subscribe. Let's get this channel growing. Let's get some more content on here, and I will keep trying to up my game for you guys. I tried the drone today, so maybe I can get a good videographer to come in here and shoot some really good action shots. I can maybe get some drills going in there, get me a shot timer. All those things could be in the future, but this channel's got to grow more, so I can invest, more into the channel, more into putting out content for you guys, and hopefully we can build a channel where it's stuff you guys want to see. I'm not a shill for anybody. I'm not affiliated with any of the manufacturers out there, and I'm always going to be upfront with you guys on exactly how I think and feel about products. So please, again, like and subscribe, and write in the comments down below stuff you guys want to see on this channel. Thank you.